Yeah, it's pretty good. Alright. If I had to choose between an action anime and a romantic anime, I'll go straight to action animes all the way. Since romantic animes don't usually get me interested, not when the anime does the same shit of awkward situations every 5 minutes, and the relationships don't usually even make it to first base. Then came along the anime Clannad, showing not only do we do have the same shit, but we go even further than first base. This is a bit of a shock, especially when the show tests how much of a man you are by putting you through a series of extremely sad arcs that only get more and more depressing as the series moves on. The show follows Tomoya Okazaki, an ordinary high school delinquent who is late to school and skips classes during the day, who has a soft spot for helping out people the second he meets them. And apparently, this is all a ploy to show the main heroines very depressing backstories, so that way we feel bad for them not knowing what's to come later on in the second half of the series. What I just mentioned is legitimately all you need to know of the show's story, since the series itself is adapted from a visual novel. So one might wonder if there is a story. The characters are memorable, but at the same time it's easy to forget the characters' names, which is a problem with the show itself, since by the time we start to remember one of the heroines' names, the show goes, okay, time's up. Here's the next heroine that you're going to have to sit through and feel bad for. But I can see why the show does this, and it's because the show wants us to focus on Nagisa Furukawa, who gets more screen time than the other heroines, but shockingly gets less development than the other heroines even during the second season. Speaking of the second season, Clannad After Story is something that you can use to see if you're even alive and possess a soul. The animation is pretty good, but where the animation actually shines is when we see several scenes that are spread out across both seasons, in which it's basically a girl and a robot monkey and nothing else. The voice acting is up to you to figure out, since I've only watched the dub version of the series, though I'm not saying the dub is bad, in fact it's pretty damn good in my opinion. But I'm not going to dictate which version you watch, since either way you're going to cry like a little bitch. Clannad is an enjoyable anime that has a shit ton of memorable moments, however it does have its issues with pacing and some characters don't get much screen time, let alone any development. But these are merely minor problems when it comes to the overwhelming positives within the series. But here's a bit of a warning. Watch out for the void! Don't know what that is? Don't worry, you'll find out once you've dug yourself out.
見つめていた流れる